Coming up, we have stories about who gets diaper duty, kicking out uninvited house guests, like burglars, bribing your child, checking bags, top AITA story for the week on Reddit, heyo, boyfriend disappointed in how girlfriend dresses, siding with your girlfriend over your family, and erasing someone from wedding photos from petty revenge. This is one of those Photoshop requests that you see on Facebook, right? It's like, could you remove, and then people do like funny versions of all of them. That's awesome. A couple of notes before we dive in today. The Imperfect Storms dropped today. That's our new podcast with just Candy and I talking about real life family shit from the home podcast studio. So it is out now on YouTube, also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the podcast channels. Go check it out if you have not had a chance to. You've got a new piece of content to chew on for the week. Also, we're filming a new episode of Thunder and Spark tomorrow. We crazy. Hey, it's Dusty Thunder with a story for you. This one is, am I the astronaut for refusing to change somebody's baby's diaper? My wife and I have been married for 10 plus years and have a few kids. Sister-in-law and her husband had a baby 2 years ago. No major complaints. They just tend to ask for people to do stuff that I would think that they would do themselves. They'll come over to our house. They live an hour away. They'll ask ahead of time if we have their kids' favorite crackers on hand. Why don't they just pick up the crackers or pack the crackers? I don't know. They are well off. Money is not an issue. If one of them leaves the room, they'll ask one of us, my wife or kids, to be in charge of the baby, even if the other parent is right there just scrolling on their phone or something. But whenever I say something to my wife, she says I'm being too much. The other day, we were having a dinner at mother-in-law's house when the baby had a poopy diaper. Sister-in-law looks at me and says in the sweetest voice, Uncle OP, could you change that diaper? She frequently does this when we're there, but this was the first time I was asked. I answered politely, no, I'm sorry, I don't do that. You don't do diapers? No, I don't do other people's kids' diapers if their mom or dad is around. I mean, if I'm babysitting, sure thing, but yeah, if the parents are around, I feel like it's their job. Sister-in-law looks like she's ready to cry. Well, I feel selfish. I smiled and tried to set her at ease, saying, not trying to make you feel any way, just telling you a boundary is all. The table got really awkward as she got up and did the diaper. Afterwards, my wife blamed me for making sister-in-law feel bad and said I could have just changed the diaper. Not trying to make anybody feel bad, but I've had 3 kids and always took responsibility. I watched them, packed for them, I changed them, not looking to be a secondary parent for this kid. Okay, so the question remains, am I the astronaut for refusing to change someone's baby's diaper? Candy Cam.
NTA. Like, I did my nickel. I'm not doing somebody else's nickel. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not doing it again. It's not for me. It's not something I want in my life.
I'm trying to understand.
So we have grandkids.
Yes. I'm trying to understand sister-in-law's point of view here. Like, I'm trying to put myself in her shoes and figure out in what scenario, like, this is okay.
I would never. Like I said on our last live, I chose to bring our children into this world. Like I'm choosing that, so I'm going to take care of them. I'm not going to, especially at 2, like that's, it gets it's very adult-like at 2, and that's not something I'm going to push onto somebody else. Like, I don't know. And also at 2, like, I feel like the parent should be the one doing it unless somebody else is watching them, because they're growing up into, like, they're not, I don't know. Yeah. It just feels weird, like very crossing a line.
They're developing.
I'm not interesting in that.
Unless it was very much like it takes a village kind of environment leading up to this point and everybody jumped in. But even then, asking somebody else to do it, like if other people offer, cool.
Or if like the parents are busy and they need some assistance, like sure, I'll jump in. I don't mind that. But just to be sitting there at a table and being like, Uncle, it's your shitty diaper turn. Like, no, it's not.
I'm still with you, OP at NTA. I'm making it official here. Nothing has changed for me. I'm sure there are things that make this a normal thing for her, but to ask someone who that's not a normal thing with is pushing it. You know what I mean? And then visiting family does not mean that you get a break from your kids because they're just going to like completely take care of them while you're there. That's not what visiting family is about. I don't think so.
It's not?
No. Now, like there are people who want to do that. There are people who want to take over and spend quality time and do that. And if they offer, that's one thing. But asking other people, unless you're asking them specifically to like babysit for you, or you have to go do something really important. But like if the other parent is right there, there is no reason you are not there to take a break unless somebody's offered to give you a break. Like you do not have the luxury of an expectation of having a break when you go to visit family, right? It's still your kid. Oh, hold on. Tater Vision's back.
I also just like changing a 2-year-old's diaper is like wrestling an alligator because they're like
wrestling a shitting alligator.
You know, they're like the one leg is straight and the other one's trying to go over here and like you have to hold them still and like you're trying to change it and not smear shit everywhere. Like it's a whole thing. So like why would you want to put that on somebody else who's not the parent? Like I can't in my mind. Like if my mom would be like, "Oh, I'll do that. I don't care." Like she would be fine doing that.
You wouldn't have to ask though, because she would offer.
Right. And but I can't like that is the mark where it's like they don't want their diaper changed. They have opinions. It's a whole different ball game than it is when they're a baby.
I'd be like, I don't trust someone who's that out of practice to do a good job. You know what I mean? And then you're gonna have like a Gorilla Glue situation. Only it's like shit. And I don't want that. I want my kid to end up with some kind of infection because Uncle Joe didn't want to do it in the first place and just kind of half-assed it, you know, like cleaned half the ass. I
literally have.
I don't like, I don't know. The only, okay. So other than this being a very, very takes a village, everybody's on board kind of kumbaya family, where she was just used to that. The other scenario that I can imagine is a parent who is about to crack asking that. You know what I mean? I could see a parent like on their last, hanging by their last thread, just getting ready to just absolutely crack and lose their shit, being like, "Can you please? Because I'm about to lose my fucking mind." And normally you would have some kind of explanation like that. Hey there, it's Dusty with a story for you. This one is, am I the astronaut for kicking out my girlfriend's sister and her kids out of my flat after my girlfriend gave her the keys? People around me are saying I'm an asshole, but I need the perspective of uninvolved people. My long-term girlfriend has my apartment keys and I have hers. Only unspoken until now, but we have always respected the rules. Rules being, if you need to go to the other person's place, just send a text, "Hey, going to your place." Doesn't matter if the other is at home or even responds, just simply to tell the other you will be at their place. I was supposed to be away 700 kilometers from home for 2 weeks for work-related stuff, but 4 days in, and our instructor got into an accident. Work tried to find another one, but no such luck on very short notice. They decided at like 10 p.m. to get us the first flight home the next day at like 6 a.m., pay us the overtime, and the next day at home, then resume our normal work schedule. So I got home the next day at like 9 a.m., sent a text to my girlfriend to tell her I am back. Getting to my door, I'm very confused, hearing children screaming inside since none of the people who have my keys have little kids like that, my brother and my girlfriend. I thought, squatters or something? Open the door and see my girlfriend's sister's kids running around after a shower, putting water everywhere. Plates of half-finished ravioli on my living room ground, their suitcases open in the entrance. I get inside and see the husband on my couch trying to hook up my PS2 that he must have dug out in my storage room, getting into a verbal argument with him trying to understand why the they're there. They said my girlfriend told them they could get my flat for 2 weeks while I was gone. They wanted to visit the city for a bit and go to the beach. My girlfriend sent me a text while I was arguing telling me, "Oh, okay, by the way, my sis's fam is at your flat."
She Airbnb'd him. She Airbnb'd him.
I admit I blew up on him and the sis who left my bedroom in the meantime, told them to leave immediately. They argued quite a bit. My girlfriend called her sis, then sis put it on speaker so we could all hear, and she said I was embarrassing her, that she told them they could use my place for a while. I threatened to call the police and also asked my brothers to come. They left while cursing me to their children, telling them that holidays are over because the mean little sister's boyfriend cast us out. I now have all of my girlfriend's family on my back and even some of my own family saying I could have stayed at my girlfriend's so the kids could have had a vacation. Also, they have read my doctor prescription papers. I put them in a specific order and it was not the same, and obviously took some of the prescribed meds, opened a box of anti-anxiety meds. Look, kids, our Airbnb came with party favors. That does happen. This was not an Airbnb, though. Or a VRBO, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Am I the astronaut for making them leave? I've pretty much stopped talking about anything else with my girlfriend. I feel like I'm being gaslit. I would never invite people to her apartment like that, especially without telling her. It seems so disrespectful. Am I going insane? I'm gonna go immediately here. NTA. Of course, everybody who has the potential of having to host these people is like, you're an asshole. Now it's our problem, dick. But I think your girlfriend is right up here, and maybe worse, for not telling you that she was doing this. What was her plan? She was going to let them stay there for 2 weeks and trash the place, and then when they left, scurry over there and try to reset everything and make it look like leave no trace before you got home, and then not tell you, because it kind of seems like that was the plan. Otherwise, you would have been in the loop the whole time she was arranging with them to stay at your place for 2 weeks for their vacation. Which was not a last minute thing. You know it wasn't. Not only that, but they're disrespectful guests, or squatters in this instance. They're disrespectful. Dug through all your shit, went through sensitive medical information, took prescription medication, leaving food laying around. Like, no, you are NTA for this. You were taken advantage of by your girlfriend. The fact that your girlfriend says that you are embarrassing her by being pissed off about this means that you busted her plan. You found her out. She got caught. That's embarrassing. Sure. Doesn't make it your fault. Not at all. Tater. It's like, you got a mic now. I don't know how we're doing this. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time on the main cam here, Candy Thunder.
I feel like the answer is so easy. Like, why wouldn't they just stay at her house and she stay at his house?
Because she was. Oh yeah,
why?
yeah.
I mean, maybe he has more space. I don't know, but it doesn't matter if you're getting to stay somewhere for free for 2 weeks. You stay at the person's house who is there and in the conversation.
Elise, you may be onto something. Maybe she charged them.
That's crazy. That would be crazy. So she's just making a buck, especially if he travels a lot for work. She's just renting out his house.
Yeah. How many times has this happened, bro?
I feel like this is the episode of New Girl where like they're trying to rent out the spare room.
It's Fred Armistice.
Yes.
Fred Armistice. He's like, yeah. And then he dresses up like Jessica Day.
Yes.
Oh, hello.
Yes, that's exactly what I saw when I read this story. I forgot about them taking the prescription stuff though. That's illegal. That's like call the cops illegal to get into somebody's medicine and take it. Like,
that's probably a federal crime at that point.
Yeah.
Faith Reacts dropped the 10, said as someone who has anxiety, no, because if he has bad anxiety, it can cripple you.
I can't imagine being gone and then coming back to my house and not like people being there in my space and not knowing that they're going to be there and there's shit everywhere. Like, that's just an insane scene to walk into, especially after getting off a plane and all of that stuff. I would just be, which enrages you even more because after the flight and after all of this, you just want to be home. You want to be in your space. Like, you don't want to talk to people. And then you walk into your house and there's ravioli on the walls and water from the shower leaking everywhere. And I would be pissed off too. And some guy trying to hook up your PS2, like,
my PS2, my medication. That's probably your ravioli too, brother. Like,
the most shocking part of all of this is the last paragraph where he's like, this is all I'm talking about with my girlfriend, not ex-girlfriend, not anything, like still girlfriend. Because I feel like this is a break-upable offense, right? Like, this is you'd have to work through some shit because this kind of dings the trust.
Yeah.
So.
Put it this way. So girlfriend had no legal right to sublet your place or to rent it out, right? So she was basically an accomplice in them committing a crime. And yeah, I mean,
I'm wondering if she charged them, and I'm wondering if she's done it before because she had no intention of telling him. Like, their trip was going to be 10 days, and he was gone for 2 weeks, so she could come over and clean it, or she charged him a cleaning fee, something. I don't know. Yeah.
Elise says stealing anxiety meds is a felony per Google. There you go.
Ask on one.
He's gonna be smelling ravioli for weeks now. Yeah. That's gonna leave a scar, and that's something that it's a definite trust issue. Also, the fact that she wasn't like, "Oh, hey, it was a last minute thing. I forgot to tell you. I didn't want to burden you, but I knew you would say it would be okay. Like, what happened? we'll have them come over to my place, or why don't you come stay with me and I will handle all of this. I'll make sure everything's okay, blah, blah, blah. None of that. She's just like, you're embarrassing me.
All she said was BTW. By the way, no biggie.
She got caught. That was it. Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with another story for you. This one is Am I the Astronaut for trying to bribe my daughter to restore our relationship. I have 3 kids. When my oldest daughter was 17, my husband and I went to a family event for which we would come back by around 10:30 p.m. I left my oldest daughter and her younger siblings, 15 female and 14 male, with her. It was supposed to be for around 4 hours in total, and during that time, it didn't get dark till around 10 p.m., so I was fine with leaving them. When we came back to the house, it was trashed. Juice was everywhere, there were bottles and snacks everywhere, and a couple of broken glasses and vases. I immediately got furious and asked who did this. Both my younger kids said it was my oldest. They said that she brought her friends there, and they had told her not to. My oldest completely denied it. My oldest was always well-behaved, smart, and obedient till then, but I didn't think either of my youngest 2 would do it. My oldest said that she went to sleep early because she was tired and didn't throw the party, which was suspicious to me. I found her handbag in the living room and figured it was enough evidence. So we didn't let her go to senior prom, and we grounded her for 4 months along with her losing her phone. We also didn't let her stay home alone until she turned 18. All this time she swore she never did it. After she turned 18, she went to university and was really mad because I falsely punished her and rarely talked to me. Fast forward to now, it's been 1.5 years since the party happened. Then one day I overheard my second daughter, who's now 16, tell her about how she and her brother framed the entire thing by throwing juice, breaking vases, and making it look like a party happened.
Assholes.
I was stunned and horrified. I talked to them that evening and they admitted to everything and that they had apparently planned this for weeks. Why? They did it because they were jealous, as my oldest was very popular, had a lot of friends, and a good social life. Well, they fixed that, didn't they? I immediately called my oldest and apologized for everything. She responded with, "Took you 1.5 years. I offered to buy her a new MacBook Pro. She always wanted to give her $5,000 as an apology gift. OP, I feel wronged here. You can restore our relationship." She got mad and couldn't believe that I was bribing her. My husband also said it was inappropriate to just offer her stuff. I get it's not perfect, but I'm trying to make it up to her for everything. Am I the astronaut?
Yep.
Yep. I'm going to bring the scale up so we can talk about this for a second, though, because I feel like the terrible human part of this for me is thinking that money can fix feelings. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm at an AskCon 1 because it is one of these things where it's not just like, first of all, you up and decided that she was the culprit for this without any kind of real due diligence, right? That's a up. But whenever you heard finally that it wasn't her, your solution was to just try to buy her off. And here's my fear about that. I feel like you are in a position where instead of owning your fuck-ups, truly owning them and doing the hard work to fix those, you're using money to try to save yourself the trouble of having to do the hard work. You know what it would take to really fix this? Years and years of trust rebuilding and a punishment greater than what you put her through for the false accusations for the 2 that framed her. That'd be a start. Instead, none of that is happening. You're like, oh, just take this money and this laptop, and then are we good? We're good? Okay. Even if she took it, you wouldn't be good. She would be essentially saying, it's hush money. Like, I won't bring it up anymore, but I'm not. My feelings don't just disappear. This isn't fixed. This relationship is still and if anything, is more now. Because no, you don't care about rebuilding trust, about rebuilding the relationship. You just care about shutting me up. All that noise. All right, here she comes.
I love that their proof is that they found her purse in the living room. Cool, you found an object of mine in a house where I live, and so therefore I'm the guilty party. Are they not allowed to leave a purse in the living room? I don't understand how that's the evidence. That's what told her that she did it. And if my child was adamantly saying that they did not do something and they did not waver for 1.5 years, I would not, especially if her track record was good kid, never lied, like was a part of the family. She's an act, like all of these things add up to she didn't do it. There has to be another solution. But instead, you just went full nuclear, nuked your relationship. Like you took away her entire social life, her senior year of high school. Like my 2 younger kids would not be going to their senior prom. Like here's the punishment. It's just late. So like you did the crime you did the crime. Here's the time.
The 3 of them need to start making it up to the older sister.
But also to call her and be like, by the way, I know it wasn't you. Here's a new computer and $5,000. You should be fine. We're fine, right? It's all good. No, it's not good. Like you said, you have to do the work. You have to prove yourself to your child because you fucked up beyond recognition. What is it? Foobarred.
Yeah,
you foobarred. Yeah, there's no apology. It's just shit. But like for you to come home and be furious and not have any kind of admission of guilt from your child to go this hard. Normally, I mean, I would say if our child did something and we called them out and they denied it, the truth would come out within the day, I would say, or within the week. Like we would figure out the truth and like eventually they're going to crack. And if she never did in a year and a half, like, God, I just can't imagine doing that to my child. I can't imagine a scenario where they f*** up so bad that I take away their prom. Because that's just like, that's a milestone. Like that's an end of your high school type thing.
It's a core memory, right? And this is,
that's
a core memory. You now have I don't know. There's no trust there anymore, right?
No,
like
you went too hard on your punishment without having any concrete proof that this was what your child did. And to punish a child who's never really done anything wrong this severely that's ASCON 1. Yeah.
First offense, rest of your life is over.
Yes. Taking away your phone for 4 months, like all of this shit. No. Nope.
Hey, Faith Reacts dropped the 10 and said, OP never mentioned what the 2 youngest punishment. Where did she even punish them? When they did this on purpose? So the way that OP tells us the story, no, not yet. The only action she took after finding out that the younger 2 framed the older sister, whom like she now blames mom and the younger 2 for ruining her life, was to call, apologize, and offer money.
Maybe take the money and then not talk to them anymore.
Yeah,
accept the computer and the money and be like, peace out. I'm done.
Okay, so there is this element to it where if I'm in the now college aged kid shoes, I'm like, hey, you know what? You can do that if that makes you feel better, but you need to know that it does not make me feel better. That's perfect. That's exactly how it should be handled. Like, if that's what you need to do, fine, but that's not going to solve this problem. Right. Yeah. I mean, if that helps you sleep at night, go for it. But it doesn't change shit for me, except I hate you with a fresher laptop. And more money. Yeah. Yup. I don't know what an interesting scenario it would be in to be the child of someone who solves problems by throwing money at it. You know what I mean? Hey, it's Dusty with another story for you. This one is, am I the astronaut for demanding to check my brother's girlfriend's bags before they leave my house? A bit of background here. I, 39 female, have a brother, 32 male, who I will call Chase. Chase has been with this girl, 35 female, that I'll call Vivian, for almost 2 years now. About a month into their relationship, Vivian got pregnant with my nephew, who is now almost a year old. Vivian also has 2 daughters, 5 female and 8 female, from a previous relationship. Her daughters are very close in age to my daughter, 7 female, and up until last weekend, everyone got along just fine. They live in a different state than us, but come to visit fairly often and stay with us because we have the extra room. Last weekend, they came to stay again, and about an hour before they left, my daughter noticed that a few of her favorite toys were missing. The girls were playing all weekend, so I didn't think much of it, and offered to help her look for them. After about 20 minutes of searching, we could not find the toys anywhere, so I asked Vivian girls if they remembered where they were playing with them last. The girls said no, but acted a little guilty about it. I asked Chase and Vivian about it, and Chase said he saw the exact toys in the room that Vivian's girls were sleeping in. We went to check, and they were not there. He asked Vivian if she had moved them back when she packed the girls' things this morning, and she said they were not there. We went back into the living room, and I saw Vivian's girls huddled close together over a backpack and quickly closed it when they saw we were there. Okay, well, if it wasn't a red flag before, it is now. Chase asked the girls again if they knew where the toys were, and this time they didn't say anything and just looked at their mom. So mom already knew. Chase reached for the bag and Vivian lost it. She started yelling at me, how dare I accuse her daughters of stealing, and she tried to snatch the bag away. Chase opened it, and there were the missing toys, plus a few more. How dare you accuse them of something that they absolutely did? And didn't do a good job of hiding, and looked at me because we already had an arrangement here. I was absolutely furious. I told her I wanted to see what else she had and demanded she open the 2 suitcases. She said that was an invasion of her privacy and tried to take them and leave. Chase stopped her and made her open them. She had taken several tops, a few skirts and dresses, and a brand new pair of Nikes that belonged to my daughter. I took everything back and told her she and the girls were not allowed back into my home. I have since received several texts from her and a few unknown numbers telling me how I embarrassed her and upset her girls because they were promised the items by their thieving mom? Chase is upset with her, but said I was too mean to her in front of everyone and that I could have handled the situation more privately. Oh, you got embarrassed because your thieving wife and her 2 little cohorts got busted. I bet that is embarrassing. That's a you problem, Broseph. I do feel awful that her girls left crying, but am I the astronaut for how I handled the situation? Edited to add answers to a few questions I keep getting. I'm not sure who promised the girls the items. She would not elaborate, but I'm assuming it was her. She wanted me to pull her aside into a different room away from Chase and the kids to talk the situation out. Also, yes, I'm 99% sure the baby is his. He is almost a carbon copy of my brother when he was a baby. I do not believe the girls knew they were stealing the things. I really believe that their mom told them it was okay. We have never had problems with the girls before. They really seem to be good kids. Also, I'll be talking with my brother tonight or tomorrow to discuss things further. Edit 2. I will be speaking with my brother in about an hour. I have been in contact with someone that knows her and a lot has come to light. I will update again if my brother says I can, as it's his life and not mine. Vivian is not at all who she claims to be. We have an update to read before we do that. She's guilty as F. And getting all pissed off and using her children to steal things?
She's teaching those kids to be...
What is this? Did she come from the streets of Agrabah? Like what?
Gotta steal to eat.
Gotta eat to live.
Tell you all about it when I got that time.
You were born a street rat. You'll die a street rat, and only your fleas will mourn you. This is messed up. And I'm guessing that the conversation to this point with his brother is like, hey, do you know that you are married to a con artist now? How dare you get offended that I stole from you? Update May 1st. Thank you all so much for the responses. I'm sorry I haven't been able to get to everybody's comments as I really didn't think this would take off. I talked with my brother last night and showed him a lot of your comments and suggestions, and thanks to someone in the comments, we now know a lot more about Vivian and the kind of person she really is. I will not be able to tell you all everything, but I can tell you that my brother and nephew are now staying with us while he gets a DNA test and proceeds to cut ties with her. I may have more to give you all in the coming days or weeks, depending on what the paternity test says. Again, thank you all so much. No other update yet.
And her account is...
OP's account is deleted?
Yes.
Bummer! Yeah. Beer today, that level of malicious thievery may spawn thrown hands and or law enforcement. These poor kids. You know what I mean? I know people use kids to aid and abet in stealing stuff as accomplices. Like, another simple favor. If you've watched that, which just came out, right? It is like one of the triplets was explicitly raised and used as an accomplice for... Well, this is certainly blown up, but who am I to deny the people what they want? KAS lore. For obvious reasons, I'm going to be a little vague with certain details for privacy reasons. Mainly, I don't want this crazy train coming back to my life, and hopefully you'll understand why by the end. So buckle up, bitches. This one is long and wild, and please don't judge me. We don't associate with any of these people anymore, and haven't for over a decade. Also, I will say that she is a very pretty girl and has usually gotten whatever she wants from men, so she's not used to hearing no. 2005, when I was 18, my then boyfriend, now husband, and I were invited to a house party hosted by a friend of a friend to celebrate graduation. We knew about half the people there and had been to the house a handful of times before. We were all hanging out in the basement, and after a few drinks, I went upstairs to use the bathroom, and that's where I met KAS, who was 14 at the time. The bathroom door was open, So I walked in and turned on the light, but to my surprise, there she was with some guy in the bathtub doing things you typically wouldn't do in an unlocked room. I apologized and found a different bathroom. About an hour later, she came downstairs where the rest of us were and locked in on my boyfriend and made a beeline for him. Keep in mind, I'm right next to him. She tries to sit on his lap. When he pushes her off of him, she pops back up like a demented Jack-in-the-Box and immediately starts screeching about how she was just playing. You aren't even hot, and you could do so much better than her to him. We stayed another hour or so and left. A week later, she was blowing up the guy's phone that she hooked up with and telling him she was pregnant. When he didn't believe her, because honestly, who would after just a week, she tried to press charges for I do know my boyfriend and I both had to talk to a police officer because we were both there and I was the one that walked in on them. I don't know what happened after that, but the charges were eventually dropped. 2009. My husband and I are 22 and she is 18. We are now married and living on the East Coast because he's in the military. We come home for his parents' 4th of July party and get tasked with going to get more ice. He runs in to pay and I'm standing by the ice chest outside waiting for him, and guess who shows up? She walks straight up to me and says something along the lines of, she's glad I finally learned my place and that she and my husband have been so happy together for the last year. She also made some very vulgar comments about their sex life. I don't even have time to react to her when he comes back outside and she goes pale and then bright red. This crazy bitch then has the audacity to look at my husband and ask him what he wants for dinner that night and tried to remind him of plans they have that weekend to go to the lake with her family while he just stands there staring at her like a dumbass and then asks if he knows her. I absolutely lose it and almost piss myself from laughing as she stalks off. Once we're back to his parents, he gets a Facebook friend request from her and deletes it. Over the period of 3 days, she sends him 4 or 5 friend requests, so he blocks her. We go back to North Carolina the following week and forget all about her again. 2010.
Oh my gosh.
This is already movie worthy. I'm now 7 months pregnant with our daughter, and we fly back to our hometown one last time before she's born, of course. Run into KAS again at Walmart. I know how it sounds, but we're from a town of about 5,000 people, so you kind of see everybody all the damn time, whether you want to or not. I'm noticeably pregnant as I'm 7 months along. I'm also only 5'2", and at the time weighed about 115 pounds, so it was very clearly a baby bump. She's with her sister, and they seem to be following us, but we try to ignore them. We're now checking out, and again, they're right behind us, still acting like children, but in her defense, she was 19-ish at the time. We're still ignoring them, and her sister says fairly loudly, he'll dump her now that she's fat. We continue to ignore them and leave the store. Later that day, a friend tells us to check Facebook, and lo and behold, there's a picture of me in the snack aisle with the caption, when you catch your surrogate buying nothing but junk food. And so many comments agreeing how horrible I am. This psycho had been telling everybody that I was the surrogate for her and my husband's baby. We filed a restraining order the next day.
What the f***? Oh my God. This is like, we need the Netflix movie for this. This bitch is nuts. Like, she's so nuts, I kind of feel sorry because something happened to her to make her this way.
Agreed. Something definitely happened to her.
But, oh my gosh.
But
my eyes are just like popping out of my head right now.
I don't
love
know.
blind reacting.
I am so baffled by the fact that she only turns this on when they come back physically to that town.
It's like she has her.
She doesn't, at least she doesn't follow you guys back home, right?
Yeah.
She buys her own bullshit. That's for sure.
She cray. Okay, keep going.
All right. 2018. We moved back to our hometown and buy my family's farmland to start our own cattle business. Highly don't recommend if you like to be able to make and keep plans, see your family, or take vacations. Also, why would you move back home knowing this crazy bitch is there? As far as we know, she has gotten married and is living her life away from us. About 6 months into us being back, we get a letter in the mail from a family lawyer saying my husband needs to present himself for a paternity test, and we were being sued for child support. Apparently, the baby girl came out white, and KAS's husband was not. She told her husband that my husband had her and that it was his baby. Charges were filed, and thankfully we were still in North Carolina at the time of conception, and the Army is very meticulous about knowing where their soldiers are at all times. The grape charges were immediately dismissed, and the paternity test and child support was too. We filed another RO and installed cameras all over our property. Her husband ended up adopting the baby, and they stayed together. Really, dude? Really did they stayed together because after that stunt, he was just afraid of what she would do. 2020, she makes the front page of our town paper. Apparently, KAS had another baby girl who also did not match her husband's skin tone. He kicked her and the kids out, and one night she came back to his house in full view of his security cameras in her own car with the kids and set his porch on fire.
Who is this this woman.
The husband got temporary custody of the girls for about 2 years while KAS was in jail. 2023, she gets the girls back and dips out of state. The husband files a police report and everybody's looking out for her. Unfortunately, the husband passes in a car accident the same year. Oh, these poor kids, which is how they became the accomplices to her. 2025, I'm doom scrolling on Reddit and see a story that sounds very familiar, and here we are. Reasons I thought it was her from the other post, her and her girls' ages. We knew she had a baby boy recently. She has a history of theft and immediately playing the victim when caught. We still have a few mutuals on Facebook, so I do see her post from time to time, and knew she moved in with the new guy, Opie's brother from the other post, about 1.5 years ago. Well, I think that's the meat and potatoes of it. I'll be around later this afternoon to answer any questions. I may have some of the other dates off, but hell, my memory is trash these days, and I try not to think about her or any of those crazies.
My mind is like, I'm the emoji with the mind blown.
Yeah.
Because I'm, so whoever in chat told us to go find this. Oh my gosh. So she's in the Reddit post.
Okay, so KAS joins the comments in the actual Reddit post?
Yeah. That's, we might have to go into more detail on Thunder and Spark tomorrow. Holy shitballs. This is like the Netflix documentary, like Hulu documentary that I would sit and watch 6 episodes of because I'm just fascinated by this type of human behavior. I'm sorry, I know that's crazy, but I am.
Yeah.
I don't understand how it happens or how
I'm
it works.
Terrified by it.
Yeah, I'm like...
I'm terrified that our kids are growing up in a world where this shit is happening.
Yeah, this is a deep dive. If I found a new rabbit hole, I'll be going down it.
KAS update. All right, here we go. The plot thickens.
I'm so excited.
The story continues. The saga goes on. Hey y'all, this is probably going to be the last KAS update for a while. It's been a rough 48 hours between some issues we're having on the farm due to 4 days straight of rain and KAS finding the posts about her. I'll try to be brief, but give you guys an update as to what's going on. I have been in contact with the OP from the first post, and we have permission to include a couple of updates from her situation as well. KAS has been arrested. Woohoo! Her girls are safe with OP's brother, and they are all back at his house. She found the posts and went feral with comments, and even a post which included a picture of my husband she took from my Facebook that I have since had to deactivate. We called our local sheriff's department about the harassment and learned that she had an active warrant. I was able to get in touch with OP to find out exactly where she was, and they contacted the law enforcement agency in that area, and they went and got her. We have pressed charges as well. Right now, she's looking at stalking, harassment, child endangerment, resisting arrest, and assault on an officer among the charges she already had pending. Oh, you mean so when they went to pick her up, she fought him? I knew what might happen if I responded to OP's post, but I do not regret reaching out to her or exposing her antics. What matters is everyone is safe and she is being held without bond. Update from OP. The girls are safe with my brother and he has all 3 of the children. He's been awarded temporary guardianship and we will be getting them into counseling in the coming week. I tried to press charges, but as the items never left my home, I was unable to. We will have the results of the paternity test next week as well, but no matter the outcome, he will be trying to get full rights to my nephew.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Holy
shit. Oh my God, she's crazy. I'm so glad she's behind bars. I feel safer.
She's behind bars for now,
also,
but
my chair go down.
she just,
Because I jumped.
But you jumped.
I'm sinking.
I'm sinking.
What? I just don't understand. I can't wrap my brain around stuff like this. I think that's why it fascinates me.
So she has this ability to spool up any kind of reality that she wants. And it worked for her for a long time, right? Now she's going to try to do that in the legal system as well.
She derailed our stream. Like she derailed this person's life. I'm not mad about it.
She's got a gift, and the gift is chaos.
Chaos. She's like a storm, like a tornado blowing through.
Not like us. She's not like us.
Tornado blowing through wherever she goes. That's crazy.
Tasmanian devil mode.
She has no
no moral compass.
Psychopathic, sociopathic, something. Yeah, she has nothing.
Yeah, it is something. There's a flaw in the code, right? Yeah. It's the only thing that makes sense why someone would do this and buy their own bullshit long enough. And
she has no empathy, which makes me think those things. Like my share is
psychopath,
just sinking.
sociopath. You're still going down.
I'm going back up. I'm back.
We need to get Candy Thunder an official dedicated stool for here.
I need some hydraulics or something. Needs some.
We did look. We went to TJ Maxx over the weekend and we did try to look, but they didn't have one tall enough. So we still got the Rolly unreliable one right now. Sociopath, histrionic personality or sociopathy.
Listen, if Netflix or Hulu doesn't pick up this documentary, I feel like we might.
Good gravy.
We have the capabilities.
Good gravy. Am I the astronaut for not wearing baggy clothes like my boyfriend's friend's girlfriend? I, 19 female, went on a double date a few nights ago with my boyfriend, 28 male, his best friend, and his friend's girlfriend. I wore a simple black crop top and short jeans. Short jeans? Like jean shorts? Or short jeans, something different?
There's something different.
Pants. Like shorts, but longer.
Exactly.
Pretty much something I feel confident in. My boyfriend saw me before we left and didn't say anything. But once we got there and his friend's girlfriend showed up wearing an oversized hoodie and joggers, something shifted. He got quieter, barely smiled, and didn't touch me once during the whole dinner. I brushed it off, but on the way home, he suddenly snapped. He said, "Why are you not wearing baggy clothes like her? Then, why do you always have to wear things that people stare at?"
You, dude.
Okay, what is this, like capture them and make them wear baggy clothes so no one else, sees them? Okay, your insecurity is showing, Broseph. I asked what he meant, and he said he caught a few people at the restaurant glancing at me, and it made him uncomfortable. I told him I wasn't wearing anything inappropriate. He literally saw my outfit before we left and did not complain. Then he said, "I just think it's weird that you always dress like that when we go out, like you want people to look." That actually hurt. I wasn't trying to get attention. I just liked how I looked in it. That's it. And I even told him that he is crazy that he wants me to wear baggy clothes to a restaurant. Nothing against the other girl. She was pretty sweet and it's obviously her thing, just not mine. Now he's giving me the cold shoulder and making me feel like I did something wrong. But I don't think I should have to wear a hoodie just to make everybody else more comfortable, especially when what I wore wasn't even wild, right? So, am I the astronaut? I think we need some official tater thoughts for this one. Come on up, and I'm sure she's gonna have a very interesting opinion here. We already know what's gonna be.
My opinion is run fast because one, this guy, she's 19, this guy's 28.
Oh, that really didn't click for me.
And he's acting like a baby, and wearing jeans and a crop top to dinner or like a
short jeans.
Yeah, pedal pushers. Wearing that to dinner is totally fine. And him wanting, what she said about, the other girl wearing baggy clothes, was she wearing that before she met the guy? Or was that it's some weird thing? But I can't imagine being told, what to wear to dinner. And if someone is telling me that, especially when what I'm wearing is completely appropriate, and someone is telling me that I have to change or do something different, you, you're not my person. I'm out, I'm gone.
The age difference thing isn't a big deal, and it is a big deal. It is a big deal because it's fueling the control side of this, right? He probably specifically went for a younger girl that he thought he could control more. Right. And then what's weird though is that it didn't trigger for him until he saw the other girl wearing the baggy clothes, and he's like, "Oh yeah, shit, I forgot. You're not allowed to wear things that people will look at." Oh, what are you gonna hide your face too? Where does that end? And this is all insecurity driven. He's possessive, he's controlling, and this is the first step in this.
Yeah, OP is 19 years old, and her boyfriend is 28 years old, female and male. No, this is the first step in a controlling relationship, and the more that he does this, the more you become desensitized to it, and the more control that he has. And so the more somebody questions what you're wearing when you know what you're wearing is appropriate, that is a red flag that you need to pay very close attention to, because that is a very controlling person.
I don't know, but there's this, it's driven by fear, right? That control is driven by fear of feeling like they don't deserve this someone, and the only way that they will be able to keep them is if they control their every move and prevent outsiders from noticing her.
But here's the thing, as a woman, if I see her coming in and she's in a cute outfit, I'm gonna look and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, I love your outfit. You look amazing." So, I mean, you're not going to stop everyone from looking at her, because even in hoodie and sweats, if even a sweatshirt, I'm like, "I love your sweatshirt. I love your style. It's really cool." And so it doesn't matter what you're wearing. It's I don't know. You're not ever going to stop people from looking at you. That's what the society that we live in. People are going to look. And I think anyone trying to control you is just pay attention, because I think people become desensitized to that so quickly that they don't even realize what's going on. And so when people say, "Didn't you see the sign? Didn't you know this?" And you're saying no, because you
got eased into it.
Yeah, it's just it. And so I feel bad for this girl because she's 19, and there's a big difference between 19 and 28, like a huge world of difference between those two ages. And I hope that she listens to her instincts and gut and does not stay with somebody like this.
Because 2 years from now, she's going to be saying, it's not all bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad all the time. There are good days. There are good things. But it's going to be, you're sliding that direction. You know what I mean? So this is the whole inch mile thing applies here. Yeah. If you give them any kind of control, that is an opening for them to just start adding more and more and more things. And it does not take long.
And then they're going to tell you what you can eat, what you can do, where you can go. You're not doing enough around the house. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. And once somebody has that much control of you and that abuse is just every day, all the time, like some people just don't realize that it's even happening. And I hope that any woman in this situation sees this for what it is and knows. And that's why some of these stories could totally be fake, but this shit happens every day.
That's a life lesson.
And so
I don't want a valuable life lesson.
I hope that anyone that feels this and it feels like a gut instinct that this is off, like run the other direction.
Yeah. And you know what, Bear, today you're right.
Other people.
At least she's questioning instead of acquiescing to the BS.
I know.
Yeah. Good for her.
Feel the gut instinct and move the on.
Hey there, it is Dusty Thunder with another story for you. This one is, am I overreacting by siding with my vegan girlfriend? So last weekend, my family had our usual spring BBQ. Big deal every year. Tons of foods, drinks, games, the whole thing. I've been dating my girlfriend for like 10 months, and this was her first time coming to something like this with my family. She's vegan, not annoying about it or anything. She just eats what she eats and doesn't bug anybody. She even asked me before if it would be cool to bring some food for herself so she wouldn't be a problem. I told her for sure, no big deal. My family's usually cool. Usually. So she brings a big pasta salad, vegan obviously, and some black bean burger things that she made and stuffed mushrooms. She labeled it all, put it all on the table with everything else, no drama. She was just being nice and trying to fit in. But then my uncle sees it and goes, "Oh no, is this that vegan crap? No thanks, more meat for me." And a few people laughed. Later, my mom tasted the pasta and said it tasted like lawn clippings. My brother tried a bite of her burger and pretended to throw up in front of everybody. Most of it was left untouched. My girlfriend kind of laughed it off, but I could tell that she was hurt. She asked me if we could bounce early, and I said, yeah. On the way out, some cousins made little jabs like, "Guess you can't take a joke," or one called her Tofu Girl. I told my mom later that I thought people were kind of mean, and she said I was being dramatic and that my girl needs to learn how to take a joke. My girlfriend hasn't even said anything bad about them, but she definitely doesn't want to come to another one. So now I'm stuck. Am I overreacting for thinking that they were rude and wanting to back her up? I want them to like her as much as I do. I hate confrontation. Okay, that's the most important line of this entire story, OP. It's I hate confrontation. But now you're stuck in an area and in a situation where you have to enforce some confrontation and create a boundary to accomplish anything here. This is inescapable. You have to create a boundary one way or another, because let's follow this for a second. Let's say you say, okay, we'll avoid the awkward situations. Now your boundary is not going to these things because they crossed that line, right? You already got the consequence part of it. You're like, we're just not going anymore. We can't risk it anymore because you guys are a bunch of asshats. Or let's say you speak up and you're like, Mom, I'm not just overreacting. Like, these people were rude. They were rude to someone that I love and care about. And if someone treated you that way, I'd be speaking up the same. Like, this is not okay. These people need to apologize, and they need to ensure that this will not happen again, because this was just straight disrespect. And if it does happen again, we'll never be back. And that's going to harm our relationship. If you're going to allow someone to be treated this poorly, you're not the person I thought you were. No matter what, you have to create some kind of confrontation here. Even if you avoid it, you're creating confrontation. Like, you're choose your pain. There's pain down every path. So choose which one helps your relationship the most. I would say, what's your goal there? Is your goal to let your girlfriend know that you care about her, you love her, and you're willing to put yourself in some uncomfortable situations for her benefit, for her livelihood? Maybe not livelihood. It's not the word I'm looking for. For her comfort and happiness. But is it worth it? If you hate confrontation, you've probably, your mom obviously knows this. That's why she just squashed it as soon as you tried to bring it up. So it would be a deeply uncomfortable situation. But guess what? It's going to be uncomfortable no matter what.
I thought your advice about saying if someone treated you like this, talking to his mom, I would want to stand up for you because it bothers me and it makes like
it's
she's
not
offended.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like, and mom knows it's
and
not right too.
She knows it, and that's why she dismissed it so quickly. But I do think that that's great advice to put the mom in the. Ooh, my cup is like so big, guys. To put the
giant cup.
To put the mom in the shoes of the girlfriend. So
Gonna drink 40 gallons of water today. Giant cup. Sorry.
So she can empathize with them. But yeah, I thought that was great advice.
She would probably try to squash it just as she did the first round because she knows that he's easy to control because he doesn't like confrontation. She knows this better than anybody. So it's going to be an uphill battle there. So I would say formulate your plan, decide what you want to say, and decide what you want to say when she bucks against that, and then stick to it. Stick to it. That's going to be the hard part, is sticking to it, right? So she may try to call your bluff at first, and then you may have a 6-month period here where you're light contact, edging toward no contact. But I think eventually she would come around because the baby boy she's had such control over her entire life has flown the nest and grown a spine all of his own, apparently with this new bizzo of his, that vegan girl. Yeah, okay, Serena, yeah. So girlfriend already deciding up front that she was going to bring dishes to make sure that she had something to eat, but something to contribute as well, like green flags girlfriend here. A lot of stories we would read would be like this girl would show up and then be offended because there weren't vegan options for her, right? Like, no. We're pretty clear about you bring stuff yourself if you have a special dietary request, unless it's prearranged or something, right? But no, this wasn't ever an issue here. She went above and beyond. She was beyond respectful. She was accommodating to you all. You're just like, oh, she's different. Ha! Cool, guys. Cool. Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. It's Dusty Thunder. I got a story for you, and this one is from Petty Revenge. Hooray! Title of this one is She Erased Us from Her Wedding, so I'm erasing her from mine. When my brother got married, his bride, now my sister-in-law, had very specific expectations. She wanted everyone in the family to wear their wedding colors, and we all did. People flew in from out of state. Everyone made an effort to make her feel celebrated. The day before the wedding, she made some offhanded but clearly pointed remarks about how our side of the family never takes anything seriously, and she wasn't expecting us to take this seriously either. The comments made their rounds, and feelings were hurt before the wedding even began. But we still showed up, looked great, and participated. Fast forward to getting the wedding photos and video, not a single photo of our side of the family was posted, not one. In the entire 3-minute highlight reel, no faces from our family, except a 3-second clip of my parents with the bride and groom. The rest of us, it's like we never existed. I texted her, cordially, and asked if she could send me the pictures with just our siblings since none had been posted. She responded that we never took those pictures. That's wild because I remember helping people adjust corsages for them. She doubled down on the gaslighting. I gave it 6 months and asked again. She suddenly had no idea what I was talking about. Fine. Here's where the petty revenge comes in. I'm getting married in 8 days. I've been engaged for 6 months and planning this moment since she tried to erase us. I hired a great photographer and videographer. What she doesn't know is that the videographer has a secret mission. Make it look like she's getting all the attention. Track her. Hover near her like she's the star of the show. She will feel so seen. And then, the final cut, she won't appear even for 1 second. Like she just made sure we didn't. I didn't even invite her originally. Word must have gotten out because she cornered me at a family dinner and said, "Unfortunately, I have to work the day before and after your wedding, but I should still be able to make it." I was so stunned, I just said, "That's fine. The Airbnb is booked, whether you're there or not." So now she's coming. Ugh. To cope, I spelled her name wrong on the wedding invite on purpose. That was my first move. The video blackout will be my last. Not asking for advice, not asking if it's too mean. It's not. It's exactly fair. Happy to finally talk about it freely. I want to see this video.
I want the update.
I want to see this video, but more so I want to see her reaction to watching the video. I mean, like, I know. He followed me around all night, Gerald. He followed me around all night. There's no way that I wasn't in there. She reversed Uno'd me. That bitch. Where's the B-roll? I want the raw footage. He followed me. I didn't give permission for my name and likeness to be used. I own that raw footage. Send it to me.
My name and likeness.
I would like to suggest an alternate edit. You know how you see those posts where at like hockey games and stuff, the cams show fans and then they put the crying face filter on them? Yeah, do that. Crying face filter the shit out of her. Let her show up several times, but always with like the face. Always. It'd drive her bonkers. It'd be even better than not showing her. This is one up in her ass.
I'm so proud of you.
You're proud? I thought of something petty. Ladies and gentlemen, look at that.
I'm so proud of you.
I think it would be wonderful.
That was petty bitch mode. I love it.
It was a petty bitch move. The only appearances are super unflattering. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And make sure you give her specifically something that's going to make her like gassy. And then like the shot you get out of her is her walking out of the restroom. And that's when you give her the crying face. That's it. That's it. That's her cameo. That's the cameo.
It's the face.
Yes, it's that one. Exactly. Hey, Dusty Thunder here, and I wanted to thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed that content, and if you did, please make sure to like, subscribe, and most importantly, share. Also, you can find swag and so much more at dusty-thunder.com, and you'll find even more content on all of our platforms. We're on TikTok, YouTube. We now have an official Facebook page that we'll be posting stories to as well. We have podcasts on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and so much more. You can see all of our content platforms on Linktree, which is linked in my bio. Engage with us wherever you're enjoying content and do your best to avoid the Askonauts today. Thanks again.